Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The Wayne County Commission Committee on Ways and Means meeting will now come to order.
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Commissioner Baker McCormick, Commissioner Marecki,
Here.
Commissioner Clementi,
Here.
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Vice Chair Baydoun.
Yes, here.
Chair Kinlock.
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Next item on the agenda.
Item B, Chair's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
Item C, approve the minutes from the July 29th and July 30th, 2026 meeting.
A motion is in order. It's been moved by Baydoun, supported by Commissioner Clemente. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
We're going to move ahead to item E, new business, fiscal year 2026-2027 budget presentations. First, we have the commission.
Good. Good morning, Chair Bell, and welcome to your Committee on Ways and Means budget hearing. And so at this time, we love and we're all anxious to hear your presentation as relates to what is being proposed for the County Commission for the next fiscal year.
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, members of the Wayne County Ways and Means Committee. Good to see everyone this morning. Hopefully you didn't have too late of a night last night. I know. So I'll start off by just talking about what the roles of the Wayne County Commission, and then I will hand it off for highlights for the Auditor General's Office and the fiscal agency. So the Wayne County Commission, as you know, is a legislative branch of Michigan's. I'll wait. You're fine. The Wayne County Commission is a legislative branch of Michigan's largest county by population. The chief role of the elected commissioners is to approve the county's budget and enact ordinances. The commission also approves contracts, appointments, and we work with the checks and balances of the other elected offices in the county. Wayne County is the most populous county in Michigan, divided into 15 districts, and commissioners are elected every 4 years. And I'm happy to say that Wayne County is one of the most diverse counties in the country, where different cultures come together to live in harmony for the benefit of all. We have 6 departments: the administration, commission counsel, auditor general, office of the fiscal agency, policy and research, and public information. The administration main duties is to oversee the daily operations of the Wayne County Commission employees and practices. The Commission Counsel, of course, is the legal department for the Wayne County Commission, assisting and researching pending ordinances and resolutions and working with all commissioners for the legal operations of the County Commission. Office of Policy and Research, we are small, but we are mighty. The Office of Policy and Research processes over 900 resolutions, ordinances. They analyze all of our agenda items, budget adjustments, and receive and file items. We do 900 of those items with just a staff of less than 10. Office of Public Information, I'm glad to say that earlier this year, we increased our staff of public information to 3 new members, and they are responsible for strengthening the visibility, credibility, and assessing Wayne County, making sure that we are telling our story to the public, and they are doing a wonderful job in doing memoriams, resolutions, and again, just making sure we have a social media presence that all of our constituents know the good work that we are doing. The Office of the Legislative Auditor General is headed by Marcella Cora, and she is going to talk about the highlights for their office right now.
Marcy Cora, Auditor General. Just some of the highlights for the Office of Auditor General. We provide the oversight for the legislative body, and we audit all the elected officials and departments and agencies within the county. Last year, we had a successful year. We had our 8th peer review for the adherence to government auditing standards, and our 6th peer review to the international standards for professional practice of internal auditors, which makes us an orange shop with red and yellow combined. Last year, we completed 21 audit projects, of which we're on target to complete about the same for this year. Within those 21 projects, we had 42 new recommendations with a financial impact of about $5.2 million on county operations. We had 1 corrective action plan. There was 9 recommendations. When we did the assessment of those recommendations, we found that 8 of the 9 recommendations had been successfully implemented or were in process. And also this year we've hired 2 new individuals. They started probably 2 weeks ago, and they're fitting right in and getting started on audits.
And we want to make sure that we congratulate our current Auditor General. She will be retiring. So she has done an amazing job, and we are so thankful for the job that she has done. So there'll be more to come as we celebrate her and her tenure here at the Wayne County Commission. Lastly, we have the Office of Fiscal Agency. The Office of Fiscal Agency is the operational arm of the Committee on Ways and Means. The fiscal agency reviews, monitors, and researches all issues relating to the county budget from the perspective of providing appropriate legislative oversight. Right now, we would hear from our fiscal analyst, our fiscal agency, Mr. Terrence, who will talk about the numbers as relates to the commission budget for the 26-27 fiscal year. Mr. Adams?
Thank you, Chair. Terrence Adams, Chief Fiscal Advisor / Budget Director for the Wayne County Commission. So after reviewing our budget, the commission requested a budget of about $15.7 million. The executive recommends a budget about 14.7, which is about $1 million difference from that perspective. But overall, it's about a $1.7 million difference. There were some items that were just decreased that were currently already in our budget. So we weren't asking for new money. We were just asking for status quo. About 89,000 was for our health savings account stipends that the chairwoman authorized last year and is authorizing again for next fiscal year, calendar year. The AG, due to our contract they have for software, which is about 8,000. There's about a 588,000 difference in commission cost of living increases. I'm not for sure why that was taken out, but we're requesting that to be put back in. And then there's about about $1.1 million, not of new money that we're asking for, but of money to be transferred from the executive's budget back to the commission budget for commission impact projects. This money was put in their budget. We're asking it to be put back in. So overall, we're not really asking for a lot of additional money. We're just asking for status quo money back into our budget.
And let me speak to just the 588,000. Again, that was for about 2% raises for our central staff. Again, that was taken out. We anticipate that'll be a technical amendment to put back in. And the community impact, that was the $3 million that we put into EDC 2 years ago now. Only about half of that has been used. So we're asking that we put it into the commission budget so that we can manage it ourselves as opposed to the economic development department handling that. And that is anticipated to be a technical amendment to be put back into the commission budget as well.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair, as well as Terrence and Marcy. We appreciate this presentation. At this time, commissioners, are there any questions of the chair? Any questions? Yes, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Congratulations, Marcy, on how many years? Wow, that's wonderful. So I had a question in reference to you mentioned we are red and green together, orange. What does that mean exactly?
In the government auditing standards, it's called the Yellow Book. So we're peer reviewed under the Yellow Book. And the International Standards for Internal Auditing, that's a red book. So when you have a peer review that combines the red book with the government auditing standards, they put the red and yellow together for an orange book review.
Okay, so that's good. That's average.
No,
You're right.
That's very good because there's not a lot of audit organizations in the United States that are peer reviewed for both standards.
Okay. All right, that answers that. Okay. As far as, so you know that we're looking at eliminating all youth programming. And so when we had our youth program last year? This is a fiscal question, risk management related, as that's part of what you analyze, what you look at what we do as an auditor, right? Our programs. Is that correct?
We look at the county departments and elected officials.
Okay, so that would include the commission, right?
We have an outside agency that audits the commission.
Okay, so you oversee that or no?
We somewhat oversee it. We let the contract for the external auditor that does the commission audit. But
Okay,
they're independent from us.
okay. So I'm just trying to clarify if there were any outstanding fiscal issues that you know of with the youth council.
The youth council was not part of that audit.
Okay, it wasn't part of the audit. Okay. So currently, Madam Chair, in the past, we had a youth council, women council, and I believe it was the ethics board that had a budget that was all in one. What was that budget again? Was it
300,000?
For all three, it was lumped in all together. I want to say it was 300,000 for all three.
okay?
150. I'm sorry, I gave you more. 150 for all
okay.
three.
Okay, it was 150. Okay. And so since we eliminated the youth council last year and now we're moving to eliminate all youth programming, how does that affect that pool, that 150,000?
It's still there in the budget.
Okay, so is it divided now between the women's council and
Ethics.
ethics?
It's not divided evenly. It's just a pot of money there for their needs if they should need it.
Okay. And we created the ethics board. That's why we have the budget for it. Okay.
Okay, Madam
And-
Chair, I'm going to ask you, is there any funds being recommended in this budget for the former youth council, youth commission
The
in its current budget that's being proposed?
we don't have a.
That's my point. So I would like for us to go back to questions relevant to this current budget.
Yeah, man. I was just trying to clarify what's happening with the prior funds that were there.
Okay.
And what we're doing with them. So this goes to the legal cost and maybe litigation, if any, that relates to any costs that we had this year as it relates to any youth related programming. Were there any?
Okay, if there are any questions, right, what I'm saying is that I wanted to be pretty much zeroed into this current budget question.
It is.
No, I'm talking about this current, not anticipations.
I'm referring to my office, to the Auditor General, as to
Then
the
I-
youth
the budget,
programs that
right
we
now,
had.
right now we're dealing with the budget. We're
Okay.
trying to allocate for the upcoming year. Any
Yes.
questions associated with the audit, I would like to refer you to
So
the
I'll
audit
read
committee.
it verbatim, and then
Okay.
that way you'll see that it's related to this budget. So legal costs and litigation risks, this is related to that, okay? Can you provide a total amount of the county that they have spent or we have spent in the past year in reference to legal fees, settlements, outside counsel, or litigation involving the commission, and any fiscal impact analysis that has been conducted regarding potential litigation costs associated with any of our rules or policies?
Okay, so as we have customarily, and
Can
we
you-
do procedural. No, that question is being referred to staff to ask and return it in writing.
Okay, they can return, okay,
return
then the
that
next
response in
question.
writing.
Okay, can we also provide a breakdown of the office's budget, including salaries, overtime expenditures, outside legal services and the percentage of staff time devoted to policies, litigation, legal opinions, and responding to disputes. So you may not have that, but that's
Referring
something.
that as well.
Okay. And before adopting any new commission rules or policies that can affect the authority of elected commissioners, is there a formal process requiring legal and fiscal impact analysis?
At this point here, I'm referring that to our council.
Okay. I'm asking the fiscal team, is there any formal process of analysis that they do
Or what?
for, again, before adopting new commission rules or policies that could affect the authority of elected commissioners? Is there a formal process requiring a legal or fiscal impact analysis, including assessment of potential liabilities, implementation cost, and consistency with state law? And if not, should such a policy be established to
Okay.
protect taxpayers from unnecessary litigation and expense? So basically, at this point,
That's
do
a
you
leg-
guys come together to analyze any policies that we are looking at implementing to determine whether there will be any impact or cost
Okay,
to this
Madam
commission?
Commissioner Baker McCormick, I'm going to take the privilege of the chair and basically refer any and all additional questions that you have relevant to any and all issues that you just stated. I'm going to ask that you place those in writing, forward them to
So
the office of Commission Chair.
This
No,
question is
at this
one
time-
directed to the fiscal staff.
At this
It's a
time, we will
simple
conclude.
yes or no question.
Madam Chair, you're
Yeah.
excused. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And please, if you could put all questions to staff, and we'll certainly have staff respond to them in writing. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
Our next item is the county executive.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we have in front of us the recommended budget from the CEO as it relates to the executive office of the CEO, and want to welcome you to this hearing this morning, and would love to hear your presentation and overview as it relates to initiatives from the previous year, but also special projects and initiatives for the upcoming year.
Yeah, good. Well, good morning to this honorable body, and my name is Brian Reinhardt, the Chief of Staff to Wayne County Executive Warren Evans.
Darcel Brown, Chief Assistant to the Wayne County Executive's Office.
I do know that we presented a lot of information in the Q&A format, and so I'm prepared to go through any of those questions that you may have for me. I can speak to our high-level initiatives, which are indicated in the packet. But again, it's really important for us this year to focus on the finalization of the ERP implementation. We're going to continue to focus on county infrastructure, roads and bridges, certainly improving county technologies. That's important, and that's a priority focus for us. And as you know, we have a strong interest in public safety through the executive's office, and so we will continue to support and invest in our crime reduction. And I know it's juvenile youth services responsibility to speak to exactly what we're doing in juvenile, but our office stays closely connected to that as well to make sure that we both have a public safety lens and a reformative, supportive lens when it comes to addressing juvenile concerns throughout Wayne County. I can speak to our staffing as indicated in the report that we are proud to show that last year we have very few vacancies at all whatsoever. The vacancies that do exist are really just a matter of finding the right fit for those positions. These are not an issue of salaries, or these are not difficult to fill positions per se. It's just finding the right personnel. and making sure that it works for the county and for the administration, as well as that individual employee. So we are looking to fill a couple of positions that are vacant, but it's not many at all. We have over a 90% fill rate, and we'll address those as we go throughout the year. Our salaries are very competitive. We're proud of that, and is our salary benefits package. Before the commission, before long, I know FMP is going to present, but I'll just touch base on a potential project that we'll be investing in. Obviously, we have a focus on reducing our leases and land acquisition and really being as efficient and lean as possible in the government. And so therefore we are presenting to this body the purchase of a building on West Lafayette that will allow us to consolidate services and really save the taxpayer some money, become more efficient in what we do. So I probably don't have all the answers on that, but I can certainly say it's a priority of ours. And it's, again, should be before the commission if it's not already.
Well, that's the priority of this commission of getting out all those leases, and we've been talking about that for quite some time. So, looking forward to receiving that information.
Great. And if I could, before I go to any questions, or is there anything that you'd rather me expound upon, I can speak to the public safety again, only because that is something that we work closely with. The last few years, since 2019, this commission has supported through the county executive the Violent Crime Reduction Initiative. And, since that time, it's remarkable what has been done on a national stage. Crime is down in the city of Detroit and all throughout Wayne County. And so when we look at the last few years of setting record trends, you heard previous Mayor Mike Duggan speak often about record low since 1956. And what I can tell you is for the last 4 years, every year that low has been beaten, that record has been beaten. And on this year alone, homicides in the city of Detroit are down even 10% more than they were last year, which is a record low. Homicides are down 20%, non-fatal shootings are down 10%. And so it's something that we work closely with the executive's office based on our experience and expertise. And we're very proud of the work that's being done there. We're very proud to work with the prosecutor to make sure that she has the resources. Public safety in Wayne County is not a singular focus. We can't just beef up the police or the arrest. It is about improving the ecosystem. That is giving the prosecutor the tools that she needs to be successful, the courts that they need, the courts to give the tools that the courts needs, rather, I meant to say. And so if you look at it from an ecosystem, we remain invested in all parts of that ecosystem, all the way from simple as handcuffs with the police to the Michigan Department of Corrections and everything in between.
Okay, one question that I've been asking, I guess over the past few months, is as it relates to our homeland security, the actual building that contains our homeland security. I know they share offices with the health department. Is there any plans to have a single operation, more equipped with modern equipment? Is there any conversation on your end as it relates to actually housing them in a better facility with the appropriate technology? Just wondering. As well as we asked about the interaction between the fusion centers and whatnot. What is the county's relationship as it relates to fusion centers and the coordination of efforts there?
Yep. So I can speak to the building portion first as a byproduct of this commission approving the purchase of 411 West Lafayette. That would free up space. The intent as of right now is to, if that, of course, is approved and that plan comes to fruition, the plan would be to provide space that would be vacated at the engineering building. I'm drawing a blank on the exact name of that building. But the engineering building out there off of Michigan Avenue, that's where Homeland Security would be situated. And so there's enough space, enough room for their beautiful mobile command post that's out there. And so that would be the plan first and foremost. There is a backup plan that we are exploring right now as we are going through an RFP with the 3100 Henry Ruff. That's the road patrol that you're all familiar with. And there's a backup plan that if this, doesn't happen, then we would potentially situate them at the road patrol. But the primary focus at this time is to get them into the field engineering office.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And the second component, you asked me about the Fusion Center. I do know that Director Samer Jafer currently has an asset assigned to the Dissemic Fusion Center. So we do have a full-time representative in there.
Okay.
And we work very closely with them, as does the task force VCRI.
Thank you. Any questions from any of the committee members? Any questions? Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to ask, you mentioned 411 West Lafayette. Is that the property that you're talking about acquiring? Is that
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir.
and consolidating some of the leases that we have and into that one location?
Yes, Commissioner, that's correct.
Okay. So when will we see that proposal?
That should be forthcoming. I believe it was entered into TCM last week.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional questions? Any additional questions? Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
Up next, we have the treasurer.
Oh, we at this time, okay, we recess to they're scheduled to appear before us at 11:15. So we're recessing to 11:10. Please be back at the table at 11:10, please. Thank you. We recess until 11:10. Thank you. Uh, The Wayne County Commission Committee on Ways and Means budget hearing will reconvene. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Commissioner Baker McCormick, Commissioner Marecki,
Here.
Commissioner Clementi,
Here.
Vice Chair Baydoun,
Here.
Chair Kinlock,
Present.
and Commissioner Anderson. Sorry, we have a quorum present.
Present.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
We have a presentation by the treasurer.
First of all, I'd like to start off by saying good morning, Mr. Treasurer.
Good morning.
And we have in front of us the recommendation from the county executive as relates to the budget for the next fiscal year, 26-27. And with that, I want to first of all ask you, one, whether or not this budget is sufficient for your department to operate and address its priorities for the next upcoming year. And I would like to hear from you as far as some of the priorities that were set for the previous year and the accomplishments that came from those, as well as the future prospects of some major initiatives in
Okay.
the upcoming year.
Good morning. I'm Eric Sabri, the Wayne County Treasurer. And I also have with me our Chief Deputy Treasurer who can introduce herself.
Good morning, Jean-Pierre Adams, Chief Deputy Treasurer. And we have with our consultant.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the answer to your first question is no. This budget is not satisfactory to our office. And before we go into that, I just wanted to give you a few little highlights of what we've done over the past year. I won't have a written presentation, but I'm referring to the notes, to the answers to questions that were submitted. So I'm using that as my written presentation. And I just want to say that we had a number of payment plans in our office last year, about 28,000 payment plans, and less than 1% of the people who entered into payment plans actually lost their homes. We had about 463, I think it is, owner-occupied properties get foreclosed this year, and about almost the equal amount of tenant-occupied properties. And then we had over half of the properties that got foreclosed this year were vacant lots. So we're reducing the number of properties that people live in that are getting foreclosed, and the payment plans are very helpful. We also were successful with the legislation that was passed recently. The was Senate Bill 423, which allows us to continue to restart the interest reduction payment plans so that the interest is 6% for owner-occupied properties. This program ended. It was sunset June 30th, 2026. So it just ended. Also, the PAYS program, which allows people who become exempt to significantly reduce their delinquent tax burden, that program ended June 30th, 2025. And it was part of the new legislation. So it's permanently now in place, so it can be used without a sunset. So it was a great victory. We thank the legislature and the governor for getting that done. Senator Stephanie Chang, and Senator Kavanaugh were really behind that, sponsoring it, and we lobbied very hard with many sources to get that passed. So that's a big plus for us, for our office. We also initiated the mobile unit. We initiated that into communities. We visited 7 communities. About 670 people took advantage of it so far. And we're going out into the different communities, and we're going to continue to increase the presence with our mobile unit. Wanted to mention that. Also, our investments are doing well. We thank you all for allowing us to go out 5 years for some of our instruments, which helps increase our interest earnings. So I wanted to just bring those few things to you. If there's other things going on, but those are some of the highlights in our office. We just want to tell you that our budget, though, this year, there's some problems with it. I don't understand it. I don't think we've had time to really look at the CEO recommendations. And I'll let Chief Deputy John Vier Adams kind of talk about that a little bit more.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. So with John Vier Adams, Chief Deputy Treasurer. So with respect to the budget this year, we previously met with the Office of Management and Budget about 6 weeks ago. July. No, was it? Yeah, it was July 2nd. July 2nd. Okay. Okay. I think we started this about 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. We met on July 2nd and we reviewed those numbers and we advised them of a number of corrections that needed to be made with respect to the delinquent tax revolving fund and the individual tax year funds. So those are the accounts that relate to specific tax years. And we have not received any revisions from them showing any rectification. So right now, we don't know exactly what the CEO recommendations are, what's being proposed. We looked at the summary when it was provided to us, and I noticed that there are a lot of, even with the numbers we submitted in the summary, that are not reflected in the budget summary that's been provided today. So it's very difficult for us to know exactly where these changes are, why they occurred, and whether we can continue to operate like this. And specifically with respect to the fund 51602 which is one of our forfeiture funds, and those are funds that are specifically from charges, interest, and fees, right? And those certain amounts of those funds are restricted for use only for forfeiture and foreclosure activities. And even just looking at, I'm on page 6 of the summary, even just looking at the charges and fees and fines that should show up in the revenues, there's no number there. So we just don't know where these numbers came from. If you look in the totals and the revenues, you'll see that the totals for our request was 10,680,000, but what's showing on the summary is really a credit of almost $1 million. If you add those two numbers up, it's not 10 million. And the same in the next column for the CEO recommendation. So we notice these errors. We don't know from where they derived. And so we'd like to have an opportunity to meet with the budget office again, see what the CEO recommendations are, reconcile our numbers, and then come back.
Okay, so as you know, the CEO's budget, once it's delivered to the county commission, it's within the custody of the county commission. And so what we're now doing is making any and all necessary adjustments as we do each year in this process. So what I'm going to do is instruct the treasurer's office and management and budget in connection with the commission's fiscal office to coordinate the necessary corrections and adjustments as we have done in previous years. And then we will proceed at that time when we adopt the budget with any necessary adjustments, changes to reflect the appropriate and accurate amounts. So, this is part of the budget process when it comes to commission. So it's only a recommendation, only a draft. So what we'll do is we'll correct it accordingly. Okay?
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Okay, and at this time, yes, Mr.
Philip Whitfield, Management Budget.
Yes.
I just want to go on record as I noted, we did meet with the treasurer's office on the 2nd and discuss the discrepancies noted. We have already prepared the technical adjustment, but as you noted, it's part of the process
Yes.
where we submit everything. What we can do is share a copy of the technical adjustment so that you guys have that for review prior to adoption, because that's what we would be submitting just for your department. But we've already discussed it and we've already made the changes.
And so also just inform fiscal office now of that. So
I will
it'll be
include them. Yep.
overall, absolutely. So seems like we resolved that one. Okay. Yes, commissioners, any questions? Any questions of the treasurer? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, we will now go back to the pass it in. Okay. Okay, at this time, I would like to, we'll go back to item D1. And at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to pass for the day. So moved. It's been moved by Baydun, supported by Mareki. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? This item, stands approved. Madam Clerk, next item.
We're moving to item F, such are the matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Okay, I was just getting an update on lunch. Okay, so, okay, so next item.
Such are the matters as may be.
Oh, I know of none. Yeah.
Item G, public comment.
At this time, Madam Clerk, would you please unmute individuals who are joining us virtually? And I'd like to ask those individuals, if you would like to address this committee, to please raise your hand or indicate that you would inside of the chat.
Chair, there's no one on Zoom wishing to make a comment.
Say it again.
There's no one on Zoom wishing to make a comment.
Were there any? Nothing. Okay, so anyone present? Anyone present? Public comment is closed. Next item, Madam Clerk.
H, adjournment.
A motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Baydun. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, meeting stands